Hey everyone, Livy here, back with another video, and today is actually on, I guess I'm called kind of an unboxing and first impressions of this deck. This is Windbell Island. This deck was a Kickstarter deck through, yep, right there, through Woh Studios. Woh Studios, if you guys don't know, they do quite a few decks. They've done the Exile Tarot that I have and the Monsoon Tarot that I also have, as well as a few variety of other decks, like I think even the Vacant House Tarot and some other ones. But yeah, today we're going to look at Windbell Island. And this was actually Kickstarter done. So even though they're technically like, I don't know, production company of a sorts, from China, I believe, they do Kickstarters for a lot of these. So let's see. They gave a lot of extras. I will say this mat that you see here was actually one that came with it. I know you guys can't see all of it, but has a lot of vibrant colors and stuff. So this came with it. Let's see here. We have, I think this is a keychain. That part came out. Yes, okay. This is supposed to be a keychain of the Hierophant card, so you guys can tell. So that's cute, I guess. It's just like a little keepsake keychain. It also, let me get that out of the way. They also gave, not Hierophant. Did I say Hierophant? The Hermit? And this is Hierophant. This is the Hierophant. So this is like the card. This is one of the ones that you could see on the page of the Kickstarter. It looks like it's, oh, it might be like a post-it. Not post-it, postcard, sorry, of the Hierophant. They also, let's see. Oh, this, okay. This, I'm pretty sure. Yep. This is a little bag. So if you don't want to keep your deck in this, you can put it in here. Actually, I'm so curious if this whole thing fits in here. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Nope. Yeah, no, never mind. It doesn't. So basically you could decide if you don't like the box, because this box, I didn't want you guys to see me struggle. So I did take off the plastic on the box and inside. But basically, if you don't want the box of this deck, it's like too loose for you or whatever, and you did the Kickstarter, you could also just have this bag instead. So that's very cute and very cool. We'll move that away. And for some reason, guys, they also gave me this, which is, I guess, sleeves. And they claim it has 100 sleeves in it. So basically, if I, for some reason, want to preserve all of my cards, I guess I could do it in this sleeve. Now, realistically, do I want to do that? No. I intend to use my cards, so I'm not going to be individually putting them in a bunch of sleeves. But this might be nice to have if I ever do want to do some kind of artsy-fartsy thing. So I kind of like that this was given. So that was really cool. But anyways, let's get on now to the actual deck because we are almost 4 minutes in here. So, Windbell Island, this is the box. It has a slight gloss, as you can see. I'm near a light source, so like you can see it does that. This is the back. It just says send your feedback. There's some stuff in what I'm assuming is both Chinese and Japanese characters here. I don't know. I can't read that. I don't know what it stands for, but I'm assuming maybe this is like a certain number of which. But let's look at the actual cards. This is the box. It says Windbell Island on the inside. Oh, it has this. So it has a little instruction booklet. Now, these in the past, you can see that it has the majors and then it goes into the minors. But it doesn't really have much more than that. So you're not going to see spreads and anything like that. And on here, They do give you a full image, colored image of the card. And then what I'm assuming is one of the Chinese scripts. I'm not sure if they have like how many different ones they have. But this is the script on this side. And then you have an English translation on the bottom. So this is really cool. It has both basically. And I like that this is actually, so compared to some of their other decks, this is actually a nice sizable write-up. And I like that it's set up in a way where it looks like it's describing, you guys can stop and see for a second, but it's describing everything that's happening in the picture. And then it talks about like what it means. So that's good. That's really good. And it's like that. It looks like it's like that for, yep, it's like that for every single card. So even in the minors, the same deal. So that's good. Now, because it doesn't have other spreads and things, I don't know if this would be the greatest beginner deck, but this is like somewhere in between, which seems nice. So, like I said, I didn't want you guys to watch me struggle, so I took off the plastic that was on here, but I haven't looked at the cards. Now, these are the beautiful backs, and I am actually very obsessed with these backs. These are so cool. These birds, even though you guys can't tell because this is zoomed in, this is a pretty big tarot mat. And actually has these birds, one on that side, like that way, and then one on the other. So very, very cool. Size. Okay, I have small hands. This fits good, pretty well, except this finger. I always have issues with this finger, but it's like a pretty good tarot size. It's not bad. This deck cardstock is the typical Woh Studios that I've seen is this like, it has a slight gloss, but not really linen. So it is kind of, it'll be a slippier linen. See, you guys can like, it easily moves. But it is, oh my God, the sun just like came at the right time, shining here. But then you can see, I guess, it's very beautiful backs. But it's, yeah, it's a linen cardstock. So it's very easy, very, for shuffling and all intensive purposes. So the sun is just glaring here. So I guess we're going to be able to see every last color, in this deck. Because this deck is very vibrant. I was interested in this deck because it's fantasy, adventure, super vibrant. Actually, I might need to fix this. So give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, we're back. Anyways, what I was saying was the reason why I decided I wanted this deck was because I liked a lot of the vibrant colors. I liked the fact that it was fantastical, but at the same time, it still didn't stray too far from the RWS. And that each of the characters on the card felt very interesting and different. So you're going to see, this is definitely a very character-driven deck. But anyways, our first bid here is the Fool. Is this too dark now? Here. I'm like constantly going to be adjusting light a little bit. I'm like near window. Oh, I feel like that's even worse. But anyways, this is the Fool. No, okay, pause. I'm going to fix this again. There we go. Fully done now. Okay, first we started with the Fool. Then we have the Magician. Really cool. All the elements are still represented. I am just really digging the colors here. And this High Priestess is really cool. She kind of reminds me of Raven from Teen Titans a little bit. And I like that this, it's interesting. It still has like kind of the idea of the white and the black because this one has the candle lit. This one doesn't. So really interesting. High Priestess. We have the Empress. Really pretty. I like that there's still nods to nature in this one, but she's not pregnant. She is just a regal, kind of more queen-like figure. It's interesting in comparison then. We have the Emperor. They don't, both of them together, I don't know if they 100% match up. She seems more flashy than he does. He seems more traditional for sure, or maybe like a reluctant ruler, which is really interesting of a emperor. And we have this Hierophant who's wearing glasses. Like, why? I don't know, but I love it. He's so different. Oh, man. We have the Lovers. Very cute. The Chariot. Strength. We have our Hermit, who was on the keychain. Wheel of Fortune, and it's more like a almost like a Ferris wheel. Really interesting. We have Justice. Now this, okay, this Hangman. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is so fascinating. So obviously you're seeing this is the ripple in the water, right? And it's showing the figure who's basically like kind of at the cross. But because it's this way, right? You just see the other perspective of that. I find this card super fascinating. A lot could be said here, but really good Hangman. I like it. Then we have Death, a very gnarly Death. We have Temperance. She is so different. I like that her wings are black instead, and that even the water, like, it's just a very different take. It's more, and like even her face and everything, it's more about balancing. I don't know, this reads almost like balancing more of like the darker forces within you, kind of Temperance. So I'm digging this. And this is the Devil. The Tower. Really cool. The Star. I like it too. She's very hopeful. The Moon. Beautiful colors. The Sun. This is such a good sun. Like, you get the sense of happiness and youth, but of course the kid is not naked, which I very much appreciate. I don't like the naked baby, so I'm glad to see this. Judgment, a more traditional Judgment. The Angel. And finally, the World, which is that little figure who is on the front. And it's kind of cool too, because yeah, she has the victory laurels also. Very interesting. Oh, another thing I'm noticing actually before I move on is like, look at this. 2 infinities. Really interesting. Oh, I forgot. Okay. I think this deck has a couple of extra cards. So the first one is Growing Up. And the second is Hope. And this is the cutest Hope. Look at them. My goodness. It's interesting because, like, I feel like the Star card already kind of is Hope. So it's interesting that there's, like, a double Hope on top of that. So it's very fascinating. But this is such a cute card. Cute, cute, cute. Okay. We are now, I guess, into the Wands. So we have the Ace. The 2, 3, 4. Interesting. So this is not a traditional exactly, because it's not like a wedding, But you can see that she's definitely content and happy with herself and is in a good balanced life. So that's really nice. But this is a 4. And the 5. I also find this really fascinating because you can't see anybody else but this figure. It almost seems more like an internal conflict instead of the usual external conflict that you see with this card. A very interesting take, but this is the 5. We have the 6 of Wands. 7 of Wands. 8. I'm not as impressed. This is like more typical, but yeah, 8 of Wands. 9. And 10. Okay. Then we have the Page of Wands. Knight of Wands. The Queen of Wands. And the King of Wands. And then we are in the swords. So we have the Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. And this is interesting. Instead of the blades being crossed in front of her at her neck, they're going outward as if to repel other people. That is really interesting of a take. Interesting here. A lot could be said for this Two of Swords. We have the Three of Swords. Four of Swords. Five of Swords. Nobody's a winner here. Six of Swords. I also, oh, this is such a different perspective because it's like you're viewing it as if you're the person on the boat and you're watching the what did you call that? The rower or whatever, which is a really interesting take on this card. I think this deck does interesting things with some of the perspectives here, and this is one of them. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. Even this one, right? Different perspective. And the Ten of Swords. Man, this one did not shy away from the imagery of this. But I'm here for it. It's like so tragic. I think I'm really digging how, because there's like such interesting like color work. Even if you just look at like some of these, that's just so vibrant and interesting. Like you really kind of feel like each character has like their own story. It's very fascinating. Okay. But anyways, let's move on. This is the Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. The Queen of Swords. And the King of Swords. I really like this king, actually. I like that he is ready to swing the sword, but at the same time, he has a look on his face like he knows it's better to be more balanced. Really interesting. Okay, we are now in the Ace of Cups. So the cups, we're in the cups. Ace of Cups. The Two of Cups. And this is interesting. It's like, I just realized, because usually you see like a couple or something, but these are two kings from, I guess, maybe two different kingdoms. Or maybe they're married to each other. I have no idea, but I like the vibe here. I like that this is different. Three of Cups. Four of Cups. Five of Cups. Oh, they're cute. Six of Cups. Yes. Okay. Seven of Cups. I love to see it, right? Choices. The choices, not being sure which way to go. Like it. You have the Eight of Cups. The Nine. The Ten of Cups. The Page of Cups. You still get the fish in there, by the way. Oh, the Knight of Cups. Okay. This Knight, oh, sorry. This Knight is really interesting. So normally, you know, the Knight of Cups is seen as very like romantic and otherworldly and all this jazz. What I find really nice about this Knight of Cups, I was just talking about this with my tarot meetup group because we were going over the Knights. And what I was saying in that meetup was that the Knight of Cups, right, is about, I mean, this Knight of Cups is basically the most traditional knight. If you can think of a traditional knight, this is the most traditional knight. Especially in the sense of chivalry and like the romanticism surrounding the knights. So I find it really cool and fascinating that they drew the Knight of Cups as the most quintessential knight. So that's very, very interesting. That's really cool. Very, very nice. Okay. We have the Queen of Cups. And we also have the King. Okay. And finally, we have the Ace, the Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the symbol for Earth. Oh, two Pentacles. And here's what's different. Look, there's actual zodiacal symbols, but I haven't seen, I didn't notice. Were there any other ones? I don't think there were, right? Yeah, I didn't see any zodiacal symbols in the wands or in the, no, I haven't seen them in any other ones. I find it interesting. I wonder why they bothered putting the zodiacal symbols in only the pentacles, because this is like the first time we've seen that, but that's really interesting. The balance, it's a court jester. This is a really interesting, this is a really interesting too. Oh, and see, they're back again. We have the 3. Teamwork. 4. No, 5. No, 4. Sorry. Yes, 4. And again, zodiacal symbol. It's just an interesting choice. I forget who that is. Is that Virgo or is that Capricorn? I don't remember which. But there's the 4. This I know is Taurus. So Taurus is here. That's interesting. And the 5. Very melancholy 5. And we have the 6. 6 of Pentacles. Zodiacal again. The 7. She looks very somber about the idea of having to toil. Interesting. And then we have, yeah, see, this is the other one. I feel like Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo are being represented in these cards for sure. But I don't know. I find it interesting that they are shown in these, but they're not shown in any of the other ones. Anyway, sorry. We have the 9 of, no, this is the 8. Sorry. This is the 8 of Pentacles. Very, more traditional for sure. Then we have the 9 with the dove. Oh, how cute. The 10. Big happy family. And we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles. And we have the King. Wow. Okay. That is all of the deck. Let's see. I mean, I can already tell you now, this is a really good, yeah, this is a really good shuffle. It's the same, like I said, it's the same card stock. I'm familiar with this card stock. I really like it personally. I know not everybody likes linen, but I like their linen. It's got a good bend. I also think as someone who has smaller hands, the size of the tarot here is not, it must be standard tarot, but it doesn't feel that big either because it's linen, and that's probably why I prefer linens. But really, really cool. I don't know. Should I do like a 3 card? Maybe I'll do a current just to see how well it reads. I never do that usually, but like I'm kind of curious now about the guidebook. So, let me just do, I don't know. What have I been doing lately? I feel like I've been doing mind, body, spirit, but maybe I'll do something else. One, 2. Yeah. Aha. Okay. We're getting something here. Interesting. Okay. I just decided to do past, present, future kind of what's going on with me currently. I didn't do my typical spiel where I like rhyme it and all that stuff. I just kind of wanted to see what the cards would give me. We have 7 of Wands here in the past, the Moon kind of as the present, and the future is the 8 of Pentacles. So this does make some sense. I'm curious about, let's see here. Do I want to do it for the 7 of Wands? What's it going to tell me? Okay. I just want to read a little bit of the guidebook just so I can get a sense fully. The man holds a wand facing the many wands coming his way, his expression firm and resolute. Even in the face of numerous difficulties and challenges, he has the courage to fight back. This embodies persistence and strong willpower. It also means that during the pursuit of a goal, various obstacles will arise. But as long as there is unwavering faith and continuous effort, these difficulties can be overcome and the goal can be achieved. Despite the many challenges, he remains in a relatively advantageous position. After all, he possesses certain advantages, and as long as he perseveres, there's a great chance of victory. That's actually a really good meaning. So the guidebook, I would say on that one makes sense. I'm curious about... I'm a little bit curious. Okay. I don't know if I don't think I'm going to read for the 8. I don't think it's 100% necessary, but I'm curious what they're going to say about these dogs for the moon. It says, a giant moon hangs high in the night sky, emitting a mysterious glow. The uneven surface of the moon symbolizes inner fears and insecurities. Below, a tranquil body of water represents instinct and primal desires, from which a lobster crawls up, emerging from the depths of the subconscious, suggesting the need to confront our innermost fears and desires. A dog wearing a collar and a naked wild wolf both tilt their heads and howl at the moon, symbolizing the eternal conflict and contradictions between reason and wildness. Only by accepting emotions and deeply exploring the inner world can true feelings and needs be understood. Okay, so I actually really like the write-ups for this. If I was looking at this just as like, you know, the typical past, present, future, I would say this deck is telling me in the past I've been pretty good at standing my ground about my feelings and whatever is going on in my current life as is. Now it can feel very confusing to have to confront your subconscious or even just your inner landscape in general. Like for me, I know it's very chaotic right now. But I know I can keep putting in the work, and if I continue to keep putting in the work, great results will come of it. It's just a lot of trial and error. So I guess I got to keep trucking even though it's hard. But anyways, if you guys watch this long, thank you so much for watching. I really like this deck. I'm liking the vibes. I love the colors. Shuffles well. Reads well. I'm really digging this. This is good. So again, if you've watched this long, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.